So the question is, what am I going to do when I'm faced with the test of testimony? So let's first preface that with breaking down testimony. You cannot have a testimony without a test. We don't buy movie tickets to see happy beginnings, middles, and ends. We're not paying for that. That's because, again, that's not realistic. That doesn't evoke any emotions of happiness. And yeah, it's been cookie. Show us the journey. Show us the test. We see the flower laden fields. We see all of that. We see right. But how did we get there? Everybody is interested in how did you get here? Because again, if I'm sitting here and I'm saying I have all of this, okay, how do we know you didn't inherit that? How do we know you didn't steal that? How do we know that somebody else didn't steal it and bequeathed it to you or bequeath, whatever the word is? How we know somebody ain't just give it to you? What's the backstory? And so what I understand is, I understand the value of the ability to identify, acknowledge, and appreciate the hard times which make up the test for the testimony. I can understand. I thrive on that today. Today I'm okay with it. But it's all, as we always talk about, it's how you perceive it. It's all based on your perception. Now, if you perceive it to just be, whole life just filled with trials, tribulations, and no end, infinite. Of course, I get why you frowning, sis. I get why you mean mugging, bruh. I get it, because that's your perception. Your perception is that there is no end. There is no expiration date to this. And mama, I ain't happy here. So I get it. But if and when I change my perception, then I move different, because now instead of me just trudging through trials and a lifetime of trials and tribulations, I understand, every step I take has a purpose. If every step I have has a purpose, then I'm amped about it. I'm geeked about it. I'm excited about it. I don't mind smiling, because every step, yes, I got that. When I understand every step I take takes one off the top. There's one less step I got to take to get to the expiration date, to get to the end of the journey, to get to my testimony, because I can't have a testimony if I ain't been through nothing. So I understand that every step I take is towards the testimony, and I get it. But the question is, what am I going to do when I'm faced with the test of the testimony? I'm going to push through. What you think I'm going to do? I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. There is no difference. You push through. There's no option. There's no other perceivable direction to go other than push through. And as long as I wholeheartedly push through and I'm investing in that step, it's going to pay off. So this may have appeared to be, this is going to be complex. No. What do? I push through. But the other thing that I do that's important, let me not just drop that and just leave it there and like, it's real simple. No, what I do is I find out right now, right? What do I need? What do I feel like could be a hindrance to me? Those are the things that, I prepare for. I prepare for when this mountain comes. Okay. So I know I'm about to go on a journey. So if you know you're about to go on a journey, you're going to, and it's thorns and stuff. Okay, I can walk around the house, which I can't. I'm just a person. I can't walk around without, maybe it's just because my feet's so messed up. I got bad feet, but I don't walk around the house without shoes on. But let's say you're a person that walks around the house without your shoes. Cool. But if you know you're about to go to work, if you know you're about to go to the grocery store, you at least minimally going to put on some slides or something. You're going to prepare yourself. That's what I'm saying. At all times, it should be a constant process it is for me, of preparing for the next test. Now, here's the thing. Who wants to live a life where you're constantly, after a while, just because I You don't use a pen once. Okay, this pen came through for me, right? I looked for a pen. Oh, I found it. Now, here's the thing. Now, if I take this pen, I just throw it across my desk. Good luck with trying to find where it's at. However, if I take this pen and then now I set it inside the little cup doohickey thing that's been designated for the pens, then now when I need that tool, look how easy I find it. So that is the purpose of going through a test. Is each test you should acquire at least one tool. Now, just because you acquire this tool for this test, that doesn't mean I can only use it for one time. Nah, this ain't no quill or whatever they used to be called, the feather with the ink. And it should go. But again, I should minimally get one out. And this that Huntington pen, this that good pen. You know what I'm saying? So these mugs is gonna write pretty good a few times rather. That's how coping skills should be. That's what I got.
Morning, guys. Back again, Phoenix Project. I got 81 days clean today. Woke up this morning feeling pretty good. It's beautiful outside. It's about 70 degrees out, sun's shining. It's going to be a good day. Today, I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about what it's going to be like while building my testimony. I'm going to have tests along the way. I've had a lot of pain. I've had a lot of trauma in my life, and I've always let that drag me down. Never have I used that as motivation as to where today I'm learning how to use that pain to motivate me. The pain was great enough for me to change this time, as to where before I always wasn't in a bad enough state to change. I always said I wanted to change, but at the same time, I never was willing to do that. So I'm just going to continue to utilize my support system and take their advice instead of thinking I always have the right thing to say or my way is right, because my way always fucking lands me in treatment. It always lands me in these situations I don't want to be in. So I'm just learning how to utilize certain things that I never have in the past. I've been through some shit. I've done some stupid things and made some fucked up decisions, but that's part of my story. And I don't feel like it makes me a bad person, but like I said, I'm learning how to deal with certain things at this point that I never knew how to deal with in the past. So I appreciate you guys, and I hope all you guys have a great day. Love yous.
Hey guys, it's James. So, I'm going to touch base on some of the things I've been tested with since I've gotten sober. Throughout treatment, at my treatment center before this place, there was drugs offered to me. There was people getting dosed and laced candy. I'm on felony paper, and I'm this close to getting off of having a felony on my record by finishing my ILC probation. So that was very scary and challenging. People wanted to beat me up because I wanted to mediate. I got into this program and I stayed outside, and right on the other side of the fence there was someone cutting up a line. Two construction workers cutting a line up on the ground. One guy was looking up. One guy was cutting up a line. I was like, well, I've seen that shit before. I've been tested with patience, and I can't always explain myself. And sometimes I just gotta stop and not explain myself. I've been tested with females in relationships. I gotta know I'm doing the right thing, and in that moment, that doing the best next thing, I'm going to be tested over and over again. With one great good deed comes another bad deed that's trying to turn me over the wrong side. I'm on God's side, the devil wants me just as bad.
What am I going to do when I'm faced with the test of my testimony? I've had to sit on this question for probably too long, and I had to make sense of it. The more I gain strength and I'm doing the right thing in recovery, I'm going to be tested at certain points. I'm going to have things pop up. I'm going to have triggers and maybe events that will be hard. Good will come, but also bad will come into my life, and I'm going to need to know when to recognize that and what tools I'm going to need in those moments. I'd say before, no matter what, I would have given in to those tests. I would have ran from those tests of life. I would have numbed myself for those tests of life. Done something selfish, as I keep pointing out over and over in these videos. But anymore, if I want to progress, I'm going to need to recognize when those tests come up, what to do in those moments, and what tools to pull out. So I can't say I'm going to do everything perfect. I can't say that I'm going to know exactly what to do in the moment, but I think relying on some of the people around me of wisdom and strength, find that wisdom and strength that's inside myself and be able to make the right choice. But I think to not act immediately, to take time and be patient is something that I'm going to need to really work on, because I usually react right away, and I usually take those tests and fail. This time around, I'm going to be calm and understand that I'm going to be tested, to not run from those, and to do the right thing. I want in the end for my testimony to be something I can give to somebody else, but I know I will be tested along the way.
So today's topic is, what is your test and your testimony? And so like yesterday was a test for me. Like I had to use every skill that I had learned thus far. Talking to my sponsor, even when I didn't want to hear what he had to say, being able to sit down and like have positive confrontation, to understand another man's perspective on things, to be able to sit in it instead of run, to hold back that personality in me that usually would run. And it was good, man, because like gained a higher perspective, was able to have positive confrontation, was able to know that this guy actually cares about me and cares about my well-being and cares about my future, and was only coming from a place of care. Because sometimes we think that when a person's telling us no, or that we get declined in a situation, that it's coming from a place of like contempt or a place of like, that's not good for you, I don't want you to do that. Well, there's a reason behind that, and I was able to hear that reason instead of running off and never hearing that reason. And then, when my personality comes back to the foreground and I'm sitting on the side of the road with all my stuff and like, what the hell happened? Instead, I'm still at the house, still pushing forward, still learning, still with my brothers, still doing this video blog, and still, just being me right now and learning how to deal with life. So, yeah, the video from yesterday was part of that test. And till tomorrow, love y'all.
Today's conversation was about building testimonies and being tested. I must be honest that I never really ever took a look at the word testimony and thought about the tests that create my testimony. I can see that there's been many tests that has tried to take me out and tried to take me down. And some of those tests I have failed in my life. But right now I have the opportunity to pass those tests. And the only way that I'm going to be able to pass those tests is that I have to prepare myself. Going back to the classes before, what's in my stew? What am I stewing up? Am I prepared? Am I doing all the necessary things so that when the tests come, that I'll be able to pass those tests and create the testimony for myself so that I can say that I've overcome those tests, I've passed those tests in my life. These tests and testimonies are creating my eulogy. I was sitting up pondering and thinking about that. These are the things that will be said about me and some of the things that I can feel good about myself knowing that I did what I came to do and I've been able to pass those tests that have tried to take me out. And the only thing I can do now is continue to prepare myself.
Hey, my name is Joseph. I'm alcoholic. Sobriety date February 20th to 24. My test when facing my testimony, is facing myself. Can I face myself honestly? Be honest with myself and others. Can I uncover my life that's been undercover? Lay it bare before God and man. Whispers whispering, I think I can. Then shouts of, I know I can. Rebuild, maybe grow again. And that's my testimony to know if I can just be honest with myself that, my alcohol and drug problems have taken me down a rabbit hole that sometimes I think I just can't get out of. And, I just need the other people to be able to speak to get the help that I need. And, I was reading in the AA everything. It's like if I push people away, then I'm pushing God away. And that I have to accept and be able to trust the people that He put in my life to get me through this difficult situation. Thank you.
Sometimes I still find it hard. Sometimes I still find it difficult when I look back on the process of mending my wings. But those are the times that I spread my wings and I take to the sky. Those are the times that I just soar amongst the clouds of confidence, the clouds of peace, the clouds of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the acquisition of coping skills. And I just close my eyes and fly. Ooh.